Welcome to another episode of Rap in Order. I'm First Class Regg.
Now I'm Taurian B.
And today we got Robbie Digital.
Yo.
We got Eli P here.
What's going on, everybody?
And it is to my surprise that this album was even decided upon, but I'm very happy that we're doing this album. This album is Big K.R.I.T. Big K.R.I.T's album, Forever is a Mighty Long Time. It's his third studio album. It was released in 2017. It was a double album, but it featured the likes of T.I., Lloyd, Bun B, Pimp C, CeeLo Green, Sleepy Brown, Joy, Joe Scott, Bilal, Robert Glasper. Like, this album is packed. And when you look at it, it's kind of intimidating. Like, double albums have always looked a little intimidating to me because I'm always about the why. Like, why did you feel the need to separate or to split it down the middle, you know? But I enjoy this album a lot. I remember going to, and I guess I'll just kick it off. I remember going into, I think it was his Crown interview. Shout out to Elliot Wilson. He had a Crown interview with Elliot. It was after his, I forget which album.
Cadillac.
Live in the Underground. Nah, it was live
from the Underground. Okay.
Yeah, it was after.
Oh yeah, because it had Mount Olympus on it, right? What album had Mount Olympus on it? That's Cadillactica.
Yeah. Okay. So then, yeah, it was for Cadillactica because it was a Cadillactica. He was talking about that. But at the thing, like, I went up to him because you know how after Crown, like, you can kind of go up to the stage, talk to them or whatever. So I went up to them. I gave him dap and I said, yo, like, I really like the new project. How do you feel? Because he shitted on Live from the Underground during the interview. And I was like, well, why did you feel so strongly about that? He was like, yo, with that album, there was so many things that I wanted to do differently that I couldn't do. And it felt like I was being, like, pulled in different directions. So it's interesting that, like, fast forward, he would do a double album. And I think it kind of played to that. And he kind of lived up to his artistry from what I love Big K.R.I.T for. Is all over this album. And I feel like he's underappreciated for a lot of reasons. Like, it's a lot like what Rob said earlier, where, like, he kind of, like, his timing, there's just something always wrong with his timing. Like, his timing is just never on the money. I feel like it works out for him artistically, but, like, the masses don't know about K.R.I.T, and for whatever reason, they need to get up on him, man, because I think I would trade Big K.R.I.T spot. I would trade Cole's spot for K.R.I.T spot any day. So
I'm not mad at that.
That's so fucked up.
I'm not mad at that.
Can I go?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I as just like Reggie, I've always been big on Big K.R.I.T. He's from Mississippi. It always like made me happy to see how well he was doing. And me personally, I think the problem, well, I don't know if it's the problem, but I think at Def Jam, you know, Def Jam is an East Coast New York based label. And when you have a Southern artist like K.R.I.T, who's like a very soulful person, and it's not artists like Ross or Jeezy, like it's kind of easy to transition to working with them when you're a New York based label. But a Southern artist like that, he was better off going to like a substandard label or even going to like just going straight to like Atlantic or something like that. Because working with Sha Money XL, like we all know Sha Money XL was instrumental in 50 Cent's career and a few other New York based artists. So working with K.R.I.T, I just felt that they didn't fully grasp his roots musically. And that's why like it was always like a back and forth because he always had to explain himself at these meetings. And I think that really frustrated him because he's a really, you know, he's very blues, soul influenced. And you could tell that was the disconnect because he probably would present him his projects and they'll be like, well, why do you have to get this artist on? This won't get on the radio. And he's like, I'm from Mississippi. You think I give a fuck if I'm playing on Hot 97?
yeah.
So I think that's a big reason why he left Def Jam. I don't think they did bad. Like his promo was amazing always, in my opinion. I felt that like I always knew who he was. I always knew he had a project coming out. I just think he didn't want to fuck with New York people no more. Like coming to Def Jam is always a great thing, but they never really do right by artists from other places. They obviously Ludacris, Ross, Jeezy, they did right by, but their content was kind of easy to cross over, and it wasn't like extremely Southern. If you look at their main records, they're not extremely Southern. Big K.R.I.T easily could have been a third member in UGK.
Yeah.
You know? With that, also, this album being a double disc, it was not needed to be a double disc. Disc 1 is amazing. If disc 1 was just the only thing he gave us, those 11 tracks, that 39 minutes is masterful. Now, you could tell that disc 2 is probably some of the songs that labels tell him they don't want or ask him why. And I can honestly say I only need 4 to 5 tracks off of disc 2, like wholeheartedly, but we'll get into that. That's my opening statement, Your Honor.
Okay. And Eli, I want to hear what you got to say on this one.
Just like anybody else, man, like anybody who grew up in like the blog era, just, you know, with the Currencies and the Mickey Facts and, you know, those type of guys, the Drakes and all that. So it's just like, you know, all these guys kind of like came up around at the same time. And KRIT, like I love KRIT, man. I'm going to be honest. Like I love KRIT and I love KRIT's music and I love when KRIT drops a project. But it's just something about KRIT that I don't know what it is, man. It's just like nothing doesn't really stick for him. Every one of his projects have all been fire ass beats, great rhymes, great songs, great appearances, great features, great way of like producing and orchestrating his music. But the thing is just that I feel like he's stuck in a time capsule and he just doesn't know how to get out of that. And I feel like that's his problem. It's just like he doesn't keep up with the times. He sticks to what he knows and he sticks to what he likes. And that's what we like him for, because we see that he's such a genuine artist. But as far as like getting into the mainstream, I don't think I ever see that for KRIT. And I think KRIT is comfortable with that because he's more into being an artist than a superstar.
I think it could work for him, though. I mean, J. Cole doesn't want to be a superstar. He wants to be an artist.
Nah, but Cole definitely conformed a couple of times.
Yeah, no. Well, I don't think Cole. I won't think that. I won't say Cole conformed. I think he, you know, look at who discovered. Look at who's credited with discovering Cole. So like. That's obviously who they would try to model his career off of. So like when he came out, you know, obviously his first single was the shit with
It's who that?
Shit with Trey Songz.
No, it's
the first main single is Who That. The first main single is Who That. Then you have Workout for Me. Yeah. And then you have Can't Get Enough.
Can't Get Enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Main single. So like I don't think KRIT is ever going to go in that type of direction. I think KRIT's biggest single was with Raphael Sadiq, who is like...
Country Shit. Country Shit's the biggest song for him.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. And I think, and that's the thing that they were trying to do with Cadillactica. With Cadillactica, that was supposed to be his Def Jam, like, commercial debut, like, you know, his most up-tempo friendly shit. That's the reason why he didn't like Cadillactica. And then we got...
No, he liked Cadillactica. He didn't like Live from the Underground.
Live from the Underground. Okay, then there you go. So then that's part of the reason why that we got Confetti. Because in Confetti, in the music video, that's all we saw. His celebration off the label.
I think you misdirected what the meaning of that song was. Regg, can I go ahead and with my opening statements?
Go for it.
All right, so boom, check it. I think we've all brought up some very interesting points, but I think we have to do a time capsule as well. When Live from the Underground comes out, it's in 2012. L.A. Reid is ahead of the label at Def Jam, and we know L.A. Reid does not like rap music. So that changes a lot. I mean, this is what KRIT was complaining about in a couple interviews with.
He doesn't know rap music because he's not a rap music man, but it's not that he doesn't like rap music. If he doesn't like rap music, it would have made no sense for him to become the president of Def Jam.
I suppose you can look at it. You can look at that both ways. All I'm saying is that you could hear that when that album was developed, it was very commercialized. It didn't really play to his sound. When KRIT comes out with Catalactica, A King Remembered in Time, the mixtape was way better than Catalactica, to be honest. I think when you fast forward till Forever Is a Mighty Long Time, you finally get him out of his deal. And it's crazy. This album, to me, is a product of all the relationships that KRIT has in music and people believing in him because it's such a well-produced album. And it's not just him producing on this album solely. I think that this album, to what Taurian said, maybe somewhat true, but I like the duality of the personalities with this album. Like the first half being Big K.R.I.T and then the second half being Justin's Hot. I think that the first 11 tracks are very braggadocious and super like rapidy rap, like glitz and glamour, opposed to the second half of the album being way more personable and direct to his feelings and his emotions as a person.
Okay. Thank you for that, Rob. All right, so without further ado, we'll just jump right into the album. The album kicks off with Big K.R.I.T. It's produced by KRIT himself, which is I took this as a great build-up. This is a great build-up for this album. And I love KRIT's voice because I'm so used to Southern rap. Like a big part of me grew up on Southern rap. And his voice is that. Like it speaks to what Eli says to a fault where like, you know KRIT's style. But like, you know, for some people they'll get tired of that. For me, like I fully embrace it. Like his style, his rhyme schemes, like everything. Like he doesn't switch it up that much, but it's so fucking hard. Like it's very few rappers today that I would say that are better than KRIT, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
This is a great intro.
Agreed.
Go ahead, Rob.
So he talked about that when he made the intro for this album, he sampled the Justin Scott album in order to make the Big K.R.I.T song. So it's actually the same song, but just different sonically. And that's why it has KRIT has a more poetic form to it. But I love the intro. I thought the intro was amazing. Just talking about being a country bumpkin and music bumping on the system, coming from where niggas threw his CDs out the window like he was making Frisbees. That shit was crazy. Because I think for him, those first two albums really didn't tell the story the way a lot of his fans wanted him to tell his story. And to Eli's point, back in the blog era, one of the main problems we got from a lot of the blog era rappers was that their mixtapes were better than their albums. All the time.
Yeah, absolutely. All the time.
And you knew that because you can hear the A&Rs and the industry kind of their influence in the albums.
You still hear that to this day?
Not so much.
Nah, you definitely still get that problem. You definitely still
not
get
as
that
much
problem.
as we did in the blog era. You would get a mixtape 3 months later, get the album.
Yeah, but it still exists, though.
It still exists, but what I mean is like you would get the mixtape in April, then in July you get the album, and then niggas would shit on the album because the mixtape was better than the album.
Well, the difference now is that mixtapes are dead, so most albums that we get are what would have been the mixtape. So like I guess that's the silver lining in that. Like it's not like we're getting mixtapes nowadays. Like we're getting like they'll say it's a mixtape and then we're looking at an album. Like that's the thing. Like mixtapes don't exist. There's nothing where people are putting out something on that piff and you can't find it on iTunes and everything like that.
Yeah.
True.
The
also downfall to that is when you do get the mixtape into an album or mixtapes into an album, what we're noticing now is they're underdeveloped. They're not complete thoughts. There's not too many artists like a KRIT, like a Cole, like a Kendrick, who have mixtapes in their repertoire or in their discography that are complete bodies of work and complete thoughts. So that happens often with some of the newer artists where you hear it and then the album doesn't hit the way it was supposed to, or the single doesn't knock the way it's supposed to, and then they get in an interview and they double down on the album and say it was a mixtape. Like I was going for a mixtape vibe and that's how we came up with this, but you didn't really flush out a full idea for an album like this particular album.
Yeah. All right. We off to a good start, fellas. Let's get into the next song. Next song is Confetti. Confetti is produced by DJ Camper, which automatically stood out to me because up until this point I've always known KRIT of producing his own music. So with this album, him working with other artists really stood out to me. I mean, this isn't the first time that he's done it, but it really stood out with this album, especially because it's a fucking double disc. Confetti was good. Is very braggadocious because and which is great because it's like KRIT is never the braggadocious rapper. He's always super, super fucking humble. But like up until the year of this coming out, he really started leaning into his shit, like not calling people out, but like really proclaiming himself the best. And Confetti let him do that.
I really love Big K.R.I.T's voice. He has such a confidence when he speaks. It's really amazing. And I wonder, is it just something about Black men from Mississippi? Because David Banner's from Mississippi as well. And they just have a way that they talk where I'm just like, yo, this is, it catches my attention. It sounds like, I'm like, yo, KRIT sound like the dude that was in school that was mad woke and he would just give speeches in class, always correcting the teacher on some shit. Like just knowing, like, because he read more books than the teacher's curriculum.
Like yeah. Minister Society. He was like, well, actually.
You mean higher learning, Rob? If you're going,
I meant Minister Society when he corrected the teacher in class.
Come on, preach.
Cuban Gooding Jr.'s character in Minister Society. When they're sitting in class when he's a kid and the teacher says something and he corrects the teacher.
And he wound up slapping dude?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good one, but I feel like in Higher Learning, like Ice Cube's character would be more what I envisioned when I said that.
That's fair. I like Confetti. To Eli's point, he was talking about it early on, getting into it. I liked Confetti because I think what he was saying was very important. Like, yo, I got the win, but I want the record. Like, niggas know who I am, and I get, you know, it's kind of like the Eastern, like the Western Conference Finals or like NBA Finals. Like, we've watched players like LeBron and Kobe and Jordan, they'll win the conference finals and don't be excited because, like, yo, that doesn't count. Like, that confetti's not heavy enough for me to be celebrating it. And that's why I took from this particular song. The sample comes from Mysterio by Botweight Lampier from like 1914. But it's a very dope sample.
Wow, yeah. All right, let's get into the next one. That next one is Big Bang. Big Bang features T.I. and it's produced by KRIT himself. I've been very vocal on our podcast about how much I love T.I. So seeing KRIT with Tip on a song, and this isn't their first collab, but it's always a good time.
This is their best, though, in my opinion.
Huh?
This is their best collab.
It might be. I gotta go back to the other collab. I think they have two other ones. I gotta go back to the other ones. But
this is their best collab, yo.
I love this track. This is a great fucking song.
It is perfect. And what's also crazy is that like Pimp C would have floated on this track.
Yeah. Yeah, he would have.
Would have floated on this track.
I like this song a lot.
I enjoyed it. Go ahead, Rob.
Sample comes from Tell Me Why Has Our Love Turned Cold by Willie Hutch. So I thought that was really dope.
Oh, wow.
Willie.
So that was really, really dope.
God damn it.
I love KRIT's wordplay. I think a lot of people don't give him credit for that. So like clubs are chirping for the hoes hurting and split the pole when they brought wings. We ain't talking about flights. Like little shit like that he says is like really, really dope. And T.I. bodied this. And I was quite surprised the way T.I. went off on this. I think this was a main single too, right?
How was you surprised? That's what
because it was like a hiatus at the time from we had heard from Tip in a while. So it was good. And although this was like one of the singles, I believe this was a single off the album, it didn't chart very high. So if you heard it, you kind of just heard it.
Mm-hmm. Nah, I always fuck with this one. This is a straight up bop. This is what KRIT is good at. This is what KRIT does.
Yeah.
This is your proper introduction to KRIT. Like, you know KRIT is going to give you that conscious shit, but when he gives you a bop, oh my God, it's a fucking bop.
Yeah.
Like, he don't fail you when it comes to that.
Nah, he don't.
I feel like the next song is like that more though. But go ahead, Reg.
So the next song is Subenstein, My Sub Part 4. It's produced by Manny Fresh. And I really like that he low-key started a series.
Yes.
Yeah.
My Sub. And
It's Subenstein, like Frankenstein.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Subenstein.
okay. Thank you. So it's Subenstein. So My Sub, which is obviously this dedication to the subwoofers in his car, and and the sound. So you always can expect some great bass on in this series.
Incredible bass.
Yeah, and this one don't fail. It's not my favorite sub song in the series, but this is pretty good too.
Sample comes from Mafia Niggas by 3 6 Mafia, and of course, Still Fly by Big Timers. But the motherfucking tweeters got the police. That's the same for police. I never tone it down when I'm rolling around the streets. I've had subs in my car when I was driving. I had 12-inch kicker comps, 5.5s in the back seats, and 3.5s in the door panel. And I remember like being ignorantly loud going through the city of New York and constantly getting tickets for disturbing the peace, and also noise pollution in Little Italy and in Mount Vernon. So this song just brings back a very dope time, because we don't see that in New York anymore. And that used to be a thing just as much as it was a thing down south to put systems in cars.
I really, really enjoyed this track, and it's a Manny Fresh track. So hearing it just made me like really, really, really hyped and excited. And on top of that, like the way that he like, because him, who else does a lot of things with cars? Currency, them being like huge fans of like and Big Boy too, right? Like they're big fans of cars, and that's like a huge staple down south, like Rob said. And for him, like he's like, yo, needing the bass is something. So fucking with Manny Fresh, it kind of was like a no-brainer to do that, right? And when you know like what KRIT is doing, like that's basically what Catalactica was. So you like basically like rapping about a car going into outer space and on some intergalactic shit, like on some Deep Space Nine shit.
Yeah.
So hearing this song was quite refreshing and made me smile the entire time. Just knowing where he was taking it and making a series. And some people probably didn't even catch on to that, but I thought that was really dope.
Yeah.
The best part of this song was the switch up. Because what happens is in the beginning when he's talking about outside we talking keep quiet, I'm a killer vibe, 15's like it's Frankenstein, watch him come alive in the beginning of the song. But when the song changes, it takes all of the bass out and brings the tweeters in. And you won't notice that unless you've been in a car that has an EQ where you can adjust the pitch levels. And I thought that was insane. Like really to play off the hi-hats and the treble in the particular song and taking that bass out. And then talking about the EQ and how like when you're in certain cars with the heavy bass, like the whole seat vibrates. I thought that was incredible. Like I thought this song was really, really good.
Okay.
I think my fault.
No, I was gonna go into the next song, so whatever you gotta say, yeah, go ahead.
I think this, don't get me wrong, this is definitely one of my favorite songs on the album, but I feel like this song is a prime example on why we kind of know why KRIT won't step to the next level, because as I said, this is a series, and he's like he's probably one of the only rappers out that's still talking about subwoofers. And like goes back to Rob Point. That's what we used to talk about. It's 2017, and he's still talking about this.
And don't
get me wrong, it's good. It's a great song. The shit goes, and all the my sub songs have all of them been fire. But once we see this, we kind of know why. Like, okay, dude, like this kind of shows like you're stuck in a particular time that nobody else is kind of like here for, and you're the only one that's
very biased.
That's not true. That's biased. That's very New Yorker of you, and that's very
Yeah.
a nigga that's never driven a car or owned a car of you.
I mean, but it's true though.
Okay, but like this is
And
a
I
niche
like the
audience.
second half of the song. I think the second half of the concert. I think the second half of the song is dope. But the first part is pretty much what we've been getting before. It's good.
Bro, it's a niche audience rap.
Seen it before.
Yeah.
We're not gonna sit here and disrespect an artist for catering to his niche audience. I'm a down south rapper who talks about bass and music. That is still a thing. Parking lot pimping is still a thing down south. The same way you wouldn't be mad if Nas was talking about the fucking train. You wouldn't. Right. If Hov was talking about the train, you wouldn't be upset because you can still relate to that. That's bullshit, Eli. That's just you being biased as fuck.
Yeah, that was a bad take, Eli, because you're basically like in New York that became like a fad. But like Rob said, in New York, if you have subwoofers in your car and they beat like that, like you'll get a fine. And I promise you've never. No, I'm not gonna say never. I have a very strong feeling that you haven't experienced that and seeing like when the beat in the car is so loud that the ground vibrates and you can feel it passing you and everything like that. Like in Atlanta.
No, I have. Don't get me wrong.
So you can't tell me that like you can't, because for you and for New Yorkers, we felt it and we moved past it. But we know what it feels like if a rapper says the way I used to be on the train, the way it moved back and forth, it rocked me to sleep. We would be able to relate to that. And that bar would be golden for us. And we would hold on to it and covet it because it means something to us. 20 years from now, 10 years from now. So I can't take that away from him because that's his sound and that caters to something that he still experiences. Nah, bro, I'm not letting you rock with that one. Nah, I'm not giving you that, man.
I'm over it though.
But let's get into this next one though, because
the next one is featuring Lloyd, and it's called 1999. It's produced by Manny Fresh. And
you want the sample?
Yes.
The transition into this song is really good.
The sample comes from Piece of My Love by Guy.
Okay.
Yes.
It was this, I feel bad because like if this was 2004 and he drops this song, it's an instant 106 in Park countdown hit. Is easily. I only heard this song played by DJ Miss Malone at the Brownies party. And when she played it, I looked at her and I was like, that's why you're a DJ.
You played it at South by Southwest as well. I think it's beautiful how it went from one Manny Fresh track to another, and it has Juvenile is featured on the song as well, and Lloyd is flipping back that ass up on the he's flipping the hook for the back that using the back that ass up flow. It's just amazing. It's a silky smooth track and it flows beautifully. And it also lets me know, like, yo, this first disc, KRIT, like A&R, whoever A&R this and like sequenced the track listing did it amazingly. Chef's kiss. Like it's fucking
really
great.
Good. Like that on the late night, she got the kind of good to contemplate it right. When you fly, I have the ass out like a safe night. So when she land, because she never stood a chance, and that bow-legged stance, that shit is like just that kind of like flow, classic Southern twang gentleman. Like it reminds you of a certain woman that you can just envision when you hear this song. The one that you know looks amazing in April in spandex, and when June come, you know she's gonna be in a summer dress or a summer dress or a maxi dress. And she gonna body it. Like you just know that type of woman who does that. She probably deals with Regg, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Always find some way to say some bullshit.
I'm bigging up my men's, but all right, cool.
Next song is Ride With Me. Features UGK. It's produced by Organized Noise and Corey Mo.
Organized Noise production is always appreciated. Shout out to Ray Murray. Shout out to Rico Wade. They put their foot in this shit. I don't like. I'm just gonna assume that they charge way too fucking much, and that's why they're not doing more production. But I really need Rico Wade and Ray Murray to produce an entire feature album. I don't understand why it hasn't been done. They've done tracks with Future. I need them to just do a whole album for Future. Give Future 13 tracks and just let me get that.
I don't think it's they charge too much. Go ahead, Regg. My fault.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. I think they just.
It was a joke. I wasn't serious.
Yeah,
okay.
I was just saying I don't understand. I was like, that has to be the reason why they must charge too much for people not to work with them more. That's what I'm saying. Like they must have like an astronomical number. That's the only reason why I would assume that. I wasn't like dead serious. I was just.
I think it's a research thing. I think that there's certain artists we have an advantage, and I was just talking to an A&R of a label, a manager from a label, and she said that the millennial kids, we are so blessed for the time that we were in because we watched everything go from small to super. We watched fashion brands create supermodels. We watched labels create superstars. So being that we have that ability, we know what we look for certain music. We know what it takes to make a superstar. So we do that research. I'm pretty sure if Taurian, if you was going to do an album, you would be looking for organized noise. You would be looking for like somebody from New York, somebody from Detroit, somebody from the West Coast, because there's certain sounds and elements that's already ingrained in you that fits a perfect album. A lot of these new artists, unfortunately, are not equipped with that kind of ear to know to look for that particular sound.
I guess.
Yeah.
Anybody else got anything to say before we go to the next track?
Eli, you had something?
No, I'm straight on this one.
All right.
And the sample comes from Pip C's Knocking Doors Down.
Yes. Yeah. And so we'll go into the next one. Next song is Get Up to Come Down, and it features Sleepy Brown and CeeLo Green.
Another beautiful transition, right? We go from an organized noise produced track, then we get
to Dungeon Family.
Then we get like Dungeon Family members CeeLo Green and Sleepy Brown on the next track. Like the way they sequence this project, like the first disc, I'm telling you, this would be his classic. I'm telling you.
Is it like 2020 experience? Like the first half is amazing, and then you got the second half, it was just like not so much.
I love
the difference is that the 2020 experience wasn't a double disc album, so it's like that's why you can say that the first 2020 experience is amazing.
Some people consider it a double disc album. I know,
but it wasn't.
Look at it online. It wasn't. When you look at streaming platforms, it's 2 albums.
Yeah, that's fine. But I mean, the way we originally got it, we got 2 CDs. So
facts. I like the song. From what KRIT said, this was a continuation from his favorite song from Outkast, from Get Up and Get Out. So I thought that was really, really dope that he incorporated CeeLo and Sleepy Brown on this song.
Mm-hmm.
Get Up and Get Out. That's not a Goody Mob song. That's an Outkast song. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Get Up and Get Out is Outkast.
Okay. CeeLo's doing a hook though. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So we'll get into the next song. Next song is Lay Up.
I love this song.
Dope song about achieving your goals.
Bro, when KRIT gets into your like goals. When he gets into like you gotta be better bag. When he gets into that, hey bro, I see you, bro, but you gotta shine. I call you son because you shine like one. When you get in those bags, you really be like, all right, this is what I need to be better.
Yeah. He always he really excels in those bags. And I love that he took something like this to get this message across. He had to produce it himself. It was only right.
Right.
And he had to fly solo on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great song. Anybody else got anything else for this one?
This one's decent. I ain't need this record though.
Okay.
All right. So we can skip right over the classic interlude unless you guys had something on that one.
Nope.
And go right into Aux Chord.
It's a great interlude though. It's a really good interlude. Interlude.
Yeah. Aux Chord is produced by DJ Khalil.
Yeah, I like Aux Chord a lot. If when I see him perform, I need him to have a full live band when he performs this.
So he can put all the songs that he's referencing.
I like the subject matter of the song. I just don't like the beat.
The instrumentation on this track is amazing.
Yeah, I could see him doing this, Torian. I could see him performing this live, and every musician that he raps about, incorporating their beats and their music in the background, incredible.
That would be good.
Incredible. Like the same way like Hove does Can't Knock the Hustle.
Oh, okay.
Same way.
Nice.
Like that would be really dope. I think Oxcord is a just a testament to like his artistry and him like studying music. Like, so Vacation Across 110th Street was blazing while motherless children that were related to Mahalia. I thought that was really dope.
All right, so we'll get into the next song, which might be my favorite song on this one.
Isn't it the beginning of the next half?
This is
it's not.
Get Away.
Yeah, that's the beginning of the next half.
No, it's the end of the first disc.
End of the first half.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So Get Away is produced by KRIT, and this production is just so good. Like, it kind of, KRIT did talk about it being like not being mistaken for, he didn't want it to be mistaken for a political record, because it wasn't. It was kind of just him getting back to his essence of the type of subject matter that he loves, and it's really just the production overall that I really, really like. I love this record.
Sample comes from Sleepy People by Betty Crocher in 1974.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he uses the Everybody Get Your Roll On. He says Everybody Get Your Blow On.
Yeah, I think
that shit is beautiful.
This is a dope record because it's a tribute to New Orleans bounce as well. And if
who's that? Who's Manny Fresh and Birdman?
The Big Timers.
There you go.
On in New Orleans, like, you know, with the bounce music, like they have like different chants, and Everybody Gets Your Roll On is a chant. So when we hear it, like we just think it's a dope song, but it's actually something that's like culturally a big thing down there. And him being in Mississippi, that's like a skip and a hop. So him doing that and adding that to the last track on this one was just really good. And I'm telling you, man, if he just took 2 or 3 of those songs from this too, this man has a flawless album.
Yeah, so let's see here. We'll get into the next half of the album then. The next half, it kicks off with Justin Scott. It's produced by DJ Khalil, and really, really solid song. I think this definitely kicks off or shows you where we're headed for the second half. It's more stripped down. It's more stripped down. It's more vulnerable. It's more transparent. Like, it's a different side of KRIT. Yeah. And I fuck with this song. What you got?
A lot.
I'm going to. All right, so I'm gonna get back on, but I gotta like get ready to leave because I gotta get ready to go to work. And yeah, so what I think, KRIT's thing was when he got off Def Jam, he was like, I'm gonna do whatever I want, and this too is damn near entirely produced by him. And I think what happens is you have producers that happen to be rappers, and you have rappers that happen to be producers. Rappers that happen to be producers' egos are insane. So the fact that like he just had to have 7 tracks solely produced by him because he wanted to show us how cold of a producer he is, kind of was like his gift and his curse. He's a great producer, but this is way too much. Justin Scott is I like it, is very, very musical, but I didn't need this song. Like I didn't need this song. It's unneeded, and you could tell that is KRIT's ego.
Well, no, he didn't produce this song.
No, but I'm just saying, like, coming like this. I'm sorry, I veered into 2 things. Most of this too is produced by him, but I'm just saying this particular song I didn't need. Like it just didn't matter. So my bad for bleeding into 2 top points that I was making. This song I didn't need, and the fact that I was just like giving my whole summary of this too.
Yeah,
I need all of that production from KRIT. Sorry, listeners. So I tend to do that sometimes. Yeah, we didn't need all of this production from KRIT on this too, but this one. But the song one on this too, I didn't need this song.
Okay, all right.
I can understand the purpose of this. To me, I just see it as just like helping us guide into the next transition into the album. So it's kind of like, yo, I gave y'all all these fucking bangers and all this other shit or whatever. Now let's take it to a different direction. And that's what this instrumental does. But I agree with you. I really didn't need this shit. Fuck out of here.
Nah, it feels like to me, it's like,
Fuck out of here.
Hua. For me personally,
like I see it, but like fuck it, you could have kept this in a hard drive, my guy.
Nah, I feel like for me, like because he's telling a story, and this is more of a conceptual album,
and it has
to be story, and it has to
for
be
the fans and make it practice for everyone.
I hate when you do that shit. I really do.
Fuck out of here, bro. Like
I'm saying, like I needed it because it kind of goes into the second act of the album. Like if you see a play, it just goes into the second act. And to what Taurian was saying, it removes the layers of all the beats, the glamour, all the hard heavy shit, removing the strip, showing you that you're going into a different album. Yeah. If this is not here and Mixed Messages plays, it literally sounds stupid.
It's just filler. It's just to help the transition of the album. That's it.
So that means you fucking need it, you fucking hua. That's
not
exactly
me.
what you mean.
I could skip the song and I'll be okay.
All right. So we're gonna go to the next song. Next song is actually Mixed Messages, and it's produced by Super Mario. This song, I like the message, the overall message of this song. Ironic enough, of him just being like, I feel like most rappers come to this realization of like, yo, like, am I practicing what I preach type shit? Like, how am I, like, what's the energy that I'm giving out? Am I, because KRIT talks about a lot of, I think he talks about strip clubs, talks about all this shit. So he's like, you face this duality of yourself where it's like, yo, I talk about this because I love this, but then at the same time, I wouldn't want my family member to do this. So it's kind of just him being honest about what he puts out there and being honest about what he would actually put up with. So I like the song. I like the message more than anything.
I felt like he could have kept these thoughts to himself. And
What the fuck?
I ain't need none of this shit. I ain't asked for this, Chris.
Mixed Messages, the sample comes from Searching the Circles by Barber and Ernie and Long Red by The Mountain. I thought that was just really dope. I helped make a meal, but I got a cap. So fuck you, but I got a dap. Gotta give you dap. I really want to sing, but I better rap. I thought that was like this, that duality.
That was amazing.
Yo, bro, I feel like we all have that duality, bro. Like where you constantly
I could rap by rap. Like, you feel like you could rap and sing, Rob?
I know I could sing. I could be a church singer. I used to go to churches where I was in the choir, and I did all of that.
Talk to him.
Okay. And after that, like, my position changed because when I was in school, I was labeled as like the choir boy and, you goody two shoes because you go to church and shit. And it's like, you may have a passion for something, but that may not be everybody's path. And unfortunately, it's fucked up because that means you're not as strong as a person as you need to be to walk in your faith. So I understand where he's coming from. Where,
you've been getting bullied from day one. You're not just by us. Okay, I see.
I think I've been bullied by internally who I want to be and who I am. And I think that's what Mixed Messages is.
Yeah, that's cool, but I ain't need this song. Let's move along.
All right, cool.
Right. I ain't need none of that.
And it plays into the next song.
I just want to acknowledge that was deep, Rob. That was good.
No doubt, bro.
It's very insightful and informative.
Okay, Eli. So is the next song. It's produced by Big K.R.I.T. And I don't know. I always notice like I don't know, like Taurian says I notice like all the like little shit, but then when you look at the title of this song, you notice that the word devil is lowercase. The D is lowercase in devil, but everything else is capitalized. I always thought that was interesting. And it goes and it drives home the point of what he's talking about in the song. I like this song. How y'all feel about this song?
I like this song. I just don't want him to sing. And I wish Anderson .Paak actually sang the hook.
Oh,
that would have been cool.
That would have been
Anderson
cool.
Anderson .Paak would have bodied this hook for him. That's
that's definitely Anderson .Paak. That's his bag.
And I also always wonder, like, since he really prides himself as a producer, I wonder would he ever work with like a blues artist and just produce them, like solely, like just produce them. He don't rap. I just want to see what he would do, because I know that he's very, very passionate about his production.
I think I like this song a lot, just because it plays off some mixed messages, and I think it's like one of those songs. Like if you grew up down south, you're heavily influenced in church. Like it's in a lot of the Southern artists, their musicality and their tone, rhythm, and their distinct way they pick music comes from gospel music and growing up in church.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it's always in certain artists' albums, especially if you're just heavily raised in it. So when I heard it, I understood it, especially transitioning from mixed messages. It played off very well to me, in my opinion.
Agreed. All right, so the next song is actually Miss Georgia Fornia. It's produced by KRIT, and it features Joy. Do y'all remember Joy?
Nope.
It's such a
barely
ass name, but Joy. You remember Lucy Pearl?
Yep.
Okay, so in Lucy Pearl was the woman that was in Lucy Pearl was Dawn Richards from In Vogue.
Yeah.
But when she left, because they had problems with her, they replaced her with Joy.
Oh shit! Nah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's who that is. So I thought that was very interesting. That like Joy never popped off on her own, but I thought it was very interesting that he got her on here, because it shows you how particular the placements for the songs are on this album. Like how everything is so intentional. Like, because who the fuck unearths? Where did he go to unearth Joy? You know what I mean? Like that's so. There's so much intent behind that, I feel.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't know that shit.
Yeah, I didn't. I had no idea. I don't like this song.
1,000% good on this song. I don't need this song at all.
She didn't. It didn't. It was such a weird transition, and it just wasn't right for my ears.
I'm gonna come clean. Like this whole half of the album.
Don't even say it.
Don't say that, because the next song is incredible. Don't do that. So just shut the fuck up. Whatever you about to say, just keep it, my nigga. Keep it. Now, Miss Georgia, Fornia is trash. I'll give you that. The sound is off. The tone is off. I get the premise of the song, but it was absolutely unnecessary. Completely. Like, I get it. Like, big city, country mouse, city mouse vibe, fine, whatever. But I ain't need this shit. I didn't need this at all.
Yeah. We'll get into that.
I just wanted to say it's definitely a very Andre 3000. We're on the next song, right? Miss Georgia. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's where we are. That's where we are. Yeah, that's where we are.
Yeah, it's very Andre 3000 influenced. You could tell like that was his attempt at an Andre 3000 kind of influence song.
Yeah.
Andre probably told him no.
Jesus.
Next song is Everlasting, and it's produced by WLPWR.
Didn't need this
Willpower, I guess.
Yeah, didn't need it.
I needed this song. I like the song. Everlasting.
Yo, you know what this song reminds me of? This song reminds me of when Common was the song with Mary J. Blige.
Close?
Yeah. When he's outside her window just like doing the cardboard thing or whatever.
I think I really like you.
That's exactly what this song
I think I want to wife you.
That was really
that song was a great song.
I always thought that was fucked up in that video when he says, I kind of laugh when you cuss at me, because she was deaf.
Yo, Regg, I swear to you, your comedic timing is always on point, my nigga. All the fucking time. I like Everlasting. It gives me.
Fucked up.
I like Everlasting because it gives me country, just chill music, soul child vibes. Like coming out the club and you kind of like, yo, what you doing? Like, yo, holla at me, like, cause I ain't really want to be here. And you don't look like you really want to be here. We could be somewhere. Like, it gives me that kind of vibe. Like,
yeah,
it gives me that. I like this song. It's a very chill.
This is
song.
very Wale of Big K.R.I.T. I'm good on this.
That's probably why
Bro, I swear to you, bro.
That's definitely why
I'm
Rob
a
likes
ghost
this shit.
dad choke you through this computer, my nigga. Ghost dad
All he had
choke
to do
you.
was name a sneaker in the song, and Rob would have been like, "Yo, this is an amazing record. It touches my soul."
Yeah, Eli's right.
No pun intended.
Let's go to the
Soul,
next song.
get it?
All right, so the next song is one of my favorite songs on the whole offering.
Of course.
Higher Calling features Jill Scott. It's produced
Jill the Mike Scott.
This is the only song on this half of the album that's good.
It's produced by Super Mario. I really like it.
Yo,
It's a great song.
Auntie Jill came and floated on this, bro.
This song is still in my rotation. Like I play this
Yo,
song.
this is a freak song, bro. This is a freak. Like, yo, come over here, song. It is.
Yeah.
I see you, Regg.
I play this
Pick
song.
up when I'm calling, when I'm starving in your God. I heard you was thirsty. It's perfect. I got some water. That is just, yo, bro. Skated, bro. Skated.
Sorry, fellas. Quick intermission. In 90 seconds, the Los Angeles Lakers will be world champions again.
They fucking smoked ass.
Yeah, they smoking.
This is in real time. We are smoking these fools.
This is amazing. This is kind of crazy to see. I mean, if y'all are seeing it, my glasses, I'm very close to the TV. So
yeah, I literally got the Mac desktop set up over here, and I'm watching it on mute. And I'm pissed off that we wasted those 2 games on these bums.
Don't say they were bums, bro. Don't say they was bums because a lot of your niggas they didn't show up.
Hey, so just to reel us back in, we are working on an album. Y'all niggas was about to go off the rails.
Say, God damn it, we are champions.
But yeah, Higher Calling is a very great spiritual move. Like it's a great song. It's just a great song. But that's what I had to say on it. What you guys feel?
Okay.
Jill Scott sounds like a sample on this. Like she sounds amazing.
She sounds really good.
Yeah, crisp.
Yeah.
Crisp. All right. So what's next? Interlude?
Yeah, no, we can skip. It's the weekend. No, we can skip that. Yeah. Price of Fame is the next song.
I like this song a lot.
Price of Fame.
I like the subject matter. I hate the beat.
He just, this. I'm telling you, this was just. He didn't need this song. He just had this song. Was like, this was a personal favorite of his. But this served nothing for me. Another topic that I didn't care to hear from him. He got his point across on the first disc, yo.
Yo, I like this song because I remember listening to an interview with Knife Wonder, and he was talking about like his Knife Wonder like production rapping boot camp that he has, and he had like he was talking to some early rappers, and he was like, are you willing to like miss birthdays, miss funerals, miss birthday parties and family events for this thing that you call rap? If you're not willing to risk that, then this is not the place for you. And Price of Fame kind of talks about that. Like, yeah, I'm famous, but my family hates me. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't actually take into realization. Like, to be successful, you damn near have to be selfish with not only your mind, body, and spirit, but your time. And that's why I like the song a lot.
I could get with that.
All right.
I'm just realizing, by the way, that KRIT has the same birthday as me. That's pretty cool. All right. So we'll get into the next song. Next song is Drinking Sessions.
Okay, I have a speech.
Huh?
I have a speech.
This one? Okay, so it features Keon Harold, and it's produced by KRIT.
All right. So KRIT on this song fell into the vortex of rappers who make songs about when they get drunk and they talk to themselves.
Yep.
What the fuck, KRIT? Like, he fell into it, and I'm pissed off that he did it. It's bullshit.
Yep.
The end.
We got some good ones out of that, though.
We did.
We got good ones out of that, but I'm 100% with Taurian on this one. I didn't need it. It's literally him just going off for like 4 or 5 minutes, just him getting his fucking frustrations off. And going back to it now, to hear that from KRIT, I was a little disappointed.
Okay.
I was a little disappointed in hearing that because, like, yo, you're Big K.R.I.T. Like, you have this You have this aura about you that, like, you know, you don't move on anybody else's time. You move on your own time. And don't get me wrong, like, it's okay. It's okay to be frustrated. Shout out to the Lakers for winning.
By the way, Rob, where's that sample from?
Robbie dipped out.
Oh man, Rob act like a deadbeat daddy. Disappeared on us.
Yo, that's crazy. Well, but the sample is from "I Let Love Slip Away" by David Ruffin.
Yes.
David Ruffin. Robs with Ruffin.
Who I regret. I don't have that much. I'm not up on my David Ruffin like I need to be. I don't have that in the arsenal like I should.
David Ruffin,
I got nothing from David Ruffin.
Incredible artist. Some of his early albums are absolutely flawless. I definitely tell you, take a look, because you can hear the pain in his voice, and you can also hear the it's interesting. You can hear the cockiness of like, yeah, I left the Temptations, but you can also hear the painfulness of like him missing being in the group and how that led to his ultimately to his downfall.
Okay. All right. Well, I will do my homework. I will be listening to David Ruffin more often. But
Reg, you got to listen to more David Ruffin, my brother.
Yeah.
I don't got a single song from David Ruffin.
Wow, neither one of y'all? Like,
Yeah.
well, like, you know, he never changes his song. The song that Jay-Z flipped.
Yeah. So like I know the songs like that. But I mean, like, I never do. I don't have any deep cuts from David Ruffin. And
David Ruffin is that dude. That's why he was bugging out on Otis like that. But what's the next song?
The next song is "The Light," and it features Robert Glasper, Kenneth Wallum, Bernice Earl, Travis II, and Bilal.
What a disappointing song.
This
song was definitely a passion song for him. You could tell with the ensemble of musicians that he used. But I wish that he put this on this one. Somehow, some way, he just fit this on this one, opposed to giving us a second disc. But yeah.
Yeah.
I just think this song looks good on paper. But other than that, I don't need this. This ended up being a super boring song. And it's disappointing because I love Robert Glasper. Like, the guy's fucking incredible.
We all do.
Yeah.
But this was disappointing, man.
He is really incredible. Yeah, I don't need this one though. I never got enough from Bilal though. Never got enough.
Bilal just be having that voice, man. He be putting that fucking eerie pain on records, and I love it.
Bilal's voice is incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible voice. All right. What's our next song? Our next and final song is "Bury Me in Gold." "Bury Me in Gold" is produced by DJ Khalil. How we feeling to wrap this up?
I think it was a horrible way to end this trash album.
Oh my God.
It was a bad way to end it. And this was the other metaphor that I didn't like that he did. He did the whole, you know, we got gold chains, but they put us in chains and slavery, but we was kings in Africa kind of shit. And I didn't need that.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't need it. Like I immediately I was that meme where like dude takes his headphones off.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't need this shit from KRIT. I'll tell you one thing, though. I'll tell you what kind of gold I do like. This world championship that we about to get, baby. Open up that Louis Vuitton case, damn it.
And it's not the first time. It's not the first time that that KRIT has dug into that bag. So it's very, you know, it's the same for him. Like this is a typical KRIT song that you'll find on one of his albums. Anyone
like KRIT has amazing moments, and not even like on this album, because he does have good moments on this album, but just throughout his discography is just like when he has like these great moments, like throughout his discography, they're standout records. And if you are a big KRIT fan, you know what those moments are. But nonetheless, it's kind of like, yo, like you're kind of a one-trick pony. You know what I mean? Like I love Big KRIT, but it kind of just goes with, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, you know? I agree. But all right.
Broke the mommy. His jump shots was broke tonight because we whooped their ass. That's what happened.
That's Taurian and his Lakers. You know what I mean?
All right. So
niggas won in an empty stadium, but okay, it's cool.
We're gonna bring this to a close.
You ain't win shit in your life, Rob.
We're gonna bring it out. How we feeling? How we rating this album?
4 out of 5 waffles.
3. All right, so this is hard for me. So I'll give it 3.5 waffles because this 2 really pissed me off.
Cause what?
This 2 pissed me off. So 3.5 waffles.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, but I'm going for a 3. I'm going for a 3. There's a couple of records I didn't need on that second half. The first half is really good with a couple of exception of some records, but I'm going with a 3. I'm not even giving him a 3.5.
All right. Well, I'm going with a 3.5 because the first half is just so impactful, and the songs that I like on the second half, I need to push it over to 3.5. I'm rocking with that.
Yeah,
and that's what we'll leave it at.
Yeah, man, that's how I look at it. And great album. This one was beautiful. This 2 was overkill, and KRIT kind of did it to himself.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, I'm rocking with that, man. And I am First Class Regg.
And I'm Taurian B, world champion, because I'm a Laker, baby. So I get one, too. I got to order me a ring. I got to order one. I'm going to wear that shit like I played.
And we out of here, y'all. Peace.
Peace.